Let's get to the CPI print, though. Jim, the general take is that ex-shelter, which was more than half the gains, means the Fed may look past this one.
Well, look, they're struggling on shelter very much because it's rent. Remember, they took the housing out in the early 80s, and there's just not enough places built. We had some numbers this morning I was watching on WEX, which was Frank Holland's show, that it's 1% down in New York. Well, that's not going to cut it. I mean, Jay Powell wants to see housing rolled back a little bit more. It's up 40%. Rental, you need more apartments built. I think that he wants to see more good numbers in a row. And can't say that this is a good number.
People were hoping for a 1/10. And you do have 1/10 if you take core ex-shelter. Again, and people are looking at some of the new rent data, and that will eventually get folded into these monthly numbers.
I think, and energy. But I just think that what happens is that you hope that other things make it down and make up for it, and you don't. I mean, look, rents, that it is true that there was an amazing number of apartments that were started to be built after COVID. And they should come in line, and then you're going to have it. But why jump the gun? Why look and say, you know what, it's going to get better? It has to be better, because otherwise what's going to happen is there's a chance that he lowers or does nothing, and then it goes bad again, and he looks weak. So I think he's going to look at these numbers and decide, I don't know if this is continuity. I think that it should have gone down each month, and instead it stayed roughly the same. And that's just not good enough.
Yeah. Well, year-on-year core did go down. We got to 4.1, prior 4.3. Santelli was pointing out, haven't seen a sub-4 number since May of 21.
Well, look, I think there's a big issue here. And the big issue is that this is my own personal view of it, but knowing his ethos, look, the average worker can't handle that. Plus 4, can't handle that. I mean, that means you go to Olive Garden, you go to Fridays, and the numbers are too high. It's just true. And you go and you have a drink, and the number's too high. So you stay home, and you go to the supermarket, and the numbers are too high. Like, nobody's cutting. And nobody's cutting price other than if they're trying to get into Costco. And so Costco is the great equalizer, maybe Amazon. But, you got Amazon trying to do the right thing, but then you have the FTC coming down on them. So, I mean, I want to know who other than Costco, maybe Walmart on their private label, is at the vanguard of trying to help the working person. It doesn't mean anything to the rich. The Powell's not focused on the rich. He's focused on the people who make $45,000, $50,000. This is not a good number.
Well, that's kind of what Delta got to today, where unit passenger revenue is down 1.5 because airfares have come in.
Yes, there you go. That's real. But they don't have. We don't have enough money. They've come in. These are still small numbers. They're small numbers. And I think if you're Jay Powell, you're not trying to get things down 1% and 2%. I mean, geez, everything's up so much since the pandemic, but the pandemic's over. And the only company I ever hear that's saying it is Costco. Costco had 2-1. Why? Because they went into everybody and said, okay, look, the whole charade about the freight, that's all over. And if you want to sell into us, you got to cut price. And if you don't, Kirkland's Signature is going to take you apart, other than Coke and Pepsi, which is the only thing they've ever failed on. And I think that that's kind of the law of the land. But the other supermarket, nobody's doing that. No one is holding these producers. No one is saying to the people who build apartments, listen, there's a lot coming on, and the people the guys who build the apartments say, wow, we're going to be in trouble. You can't convert it's just too expensive to convert the office. We thought that was something that could happen. Yeah. So look, I just think of the working person. Look, I'm very grateful that I do well. Okay, I can handle 4%, but as someone who owned a restaurant, that's too much.
Well, I mean, you're obviously looking past used cars and apparel, which were negative.
September was up.
Headlines this morning about IKEA cutting furniture prices again. It's clearly not enough for you.
No, because I had CarMax on the other day, and September was up 1% for used cars. Up 1%. I mean, that's the kind of thing that if you're Powell, you're saying, oh, man, if I moved and it's up 1%, what did I accomplish? Again, who buys used cars? People who don't make much money. CarMax said that on air. Who has to pay a giant amount for credit card? those people. Who estimates those people being our citizens? And it's very hard to afford the financing for a car. So let's stop being so elitist and remember that people go to the supermarket and they go to the drugstore and the prices are up from 4 years ago. But why? Why? We've got transportation covered. We've got supply chain covered. Could chemicals be up? No. We have a surfeit of chemicals. That's natural gas liquids. Should the surfactants inside be up? No. Those are chemicals. Should the general stuff that's in a box of Oreos go up? Why? The cardboard's down.
Aren't you a champion of corporate margins?
Well, I'm not Lena Khan, but I am saying that Powell is uniquely pro-working class. And these are numbers that are not conducive to the working class person being able to save any money.
So you would hike on November 1st?
I would, but I'm going to be wrong.
You don't think they will, but you would?
Yes, because this is just too high.
And if that's so, why are equities hanging in this morning?
Well, okay, I think equities are hanging in. I mean, if you look at the food stocks, I did this piece last night for No Huddle after I was sure that Bryce Harper destroyed the Braves. And what I found was the idea was that historically these food stocks have had higher multiples, but they're safety stocks. It makes no sense. And then I looked at the multiples, and other than Pepsi at 21 times earning and Coke at 20 times earning, the multiples have collapsed. Why? Because people don't want to be in these stocks, whether it be a GLP-1 or because people just say, you know what, the average working person cannot handle these costs. They'd rather buy private label. Now, when you go to Walmart private label, I mean, people joke about it, but I defy you to tell me that it's different. It's Kirkland's signature. I've worn the signature tie. I've worn Kirkland tie and Kirkland shirt here in the last couple of days. Did anyone say, "Oh my God, Kramer's wearing like a tattered shirt"? No, I look darn good in it. Well, no, that's a little hyperbole. But the tie and the shirt were not recognized as being Kirkland.
Yeah, I did a whole doc on Costco and the efforts they go through to make Kirkland as good as any other brand.
Yeah, they're premium generic.
Yeah.
So I am saying that what you have to look at is what Powell's thinking, not what you think.